Alright, YouTube gun reviewers, what you're seeing here is my 9mm home defense pistol setup. I've got a Stevens 320 12 gauge that I've also done a video on that is usually my go-to home defense item, but for a smaller package, this is what I've set up. This review is not on this gun, the SD9. There's plenty of those out there. This review is going to be on the setup that I've got with mine, with this TLR3 Streamlight tack mounted light. When I was looking to toss this on there, figure out what kind of light I should put on this gun, it was pretty evident to me there's a lot of people with this gun that have this setup, but there weren't a whole lot of reviews on there about what's a good option to put on the Picatinny that it comes with. So, get this guy unloaded real quick. Got the Hornady in there. Yes, it's unloaded. And just real quick, the gun, obviously, depending on where you are, is going to be about $300. The light I got off Amazon, just straight up online, for about $60, and I really cannot complain. Just kind of show you the setup that it's got here. You can kind of see that switch, but you've got your momentary down, momentary up, and then your full on up position. Depending on whether you're right or left-handed, that switch is going to go up or down in differing ways. So you can't really see it in here. This is kind of close, but it's a very bright light. This center right here that you're seeing is a great focal point for aiming in the dark. It's not going to be dead center, but you're talking about center mass. So it definitely helps when you're shooting. My spreads fall into that smaller circle at reasonable indoor distance. So it's a great way to kind of aim, other than just having to choose per se between light laser or laser light combinations. So the setup here, it's got this little screw, just works on tension setup. These TLRs are going to come with a couple different mounting brackets in there for all sorts of rails, whether it be Springfield, Glock, other Smith & Wessons, other types of Picatinny setups. This is E. I don't know if you can see that. This is the E bracket. There's about 5 other brackets that it comes with. Get you a good look at the light there. So there's your movement of the switch. Super hard. This is rubber right here. This is some sort of hard glass. Hardened plastic here. The switch is plastic, but it's got some serrations on it that make it pretty easy to grip. So if you guys are looking to put a light on your gun for a reasonable amount of money, this is your go-to option. Just as a point of reference, I've got big hands. So for those guys with big hands, I had it set on the back Picatinny rail, the back slot, and it was falling a little short. My finger was falling kind of up here. Not really a natural off the trigger position for me, so I moved it up to the next one, and my hand fell right about where it felt like it should be. So again, I live in the woods. Having a light on here can be kind of tricky. Gotta undo this a little bit more. So what I was saying is I live in the woods, and this tosses a beam out pretty far. I don't necessarily need to have a light for knowing if someone's in my house or not. I can pretty much tell that right off the bat. But when something funky's going on outside, I've got about 10 yards around my entire house before it turns to about 3-4 acres of woods. I'd rather see at a distance what's going on out there, and that'll do this. It'll toss a beam really far, stay bright all the way down range. Definitely recommend this setup. So, go ahead and post anything on there. If you've got any questions, I'll definitely answer them to you. I should say get back to you and answer them. Just really quickly, some people are going to toss their arms up at the whole don't put a light on a gun for home defense or whatever. It gives away your position. I've had some conversations with law enforcement individuals, both tactical and just regular street cops, and they say, having a light on the gun, they like to do it only for the momentary, not walking through a house or through a yard with it on the entire time so someone knows where you are, but just to toss it down, toss a beam down a hallway or into a room or out into a yard, you just kind of get your bearings is really what they like it for. So they recommend having a light on there. I have one on this setup, and I like it. It's an awesome setup. Go ahead and put any questions up there if you got them. Thanks, guys.